I tried to tell everybody, I tried to tell them that I can see the future, and look at that, 30 million download campaign pretty much going down almost how I said it was going to go down. We did get a free 5-star servant, and yes, it's going to include story-locked servants, but we didn't exactly get the announcement for the event, which I wasn't planning on. I thought they might sprinkle in a teaser at the very end, but not say like what the servant's going to be, or you know, nothing along those lines, but maybe be like, oh, it's going to be Halloween, or the next event's going to be like a lot, or something along those lines. But they decided to not do that. Oddly enough, they started looking at the poster in the back of the wall for a little bit, and I have no idea what they were on about with that. But this is a fairly decent 30 million download campaign. I mean, it's kind of just the 20 million download campaign, but revamped, like, in the way that the interview said, well, we want the 30 million download to kind of like blow the 20 million out of the water. This is just that campaign, but a bit better. It's not like the craziest thing in the world. I mean, a free 5-star is still really cool, but once you peel away the layers, it is kind of a standard download campaign. So, you know, it is very nice. Obviously, getting a free servant is going to be very good. And on screen right now, I think Ox King being in the event shop, or not the event shop, but the permanent craft essence shop is really big. If you don't know, when you max limit break this, it gives your entire party 15% buster for 3 turns, right? So this is really good to give to like your Oberons, your Koyenskayas, I mean, even your Waivers, your Merlins, just whatever servant you're going to bring in to get that extra little bit of damage to kind of squeeze out for certain events is very, very strong. This is going to be very, very good. So, like, that in and of itself is very strong. And then if I can find it in here, they finally were able to kind of do good on what they said they were going to do in a bit. Yeah, so not only are we getting double mana prisms, or not, pure prisms, for whenever we complete, you know, story quests or whatever, they're giving us an item that lets us reset the shop. Now, I think it's a bit weird that you don't just reset the shop every month, or even at the very least every single year, but this is kind of a nice middle ground, because originally when they dropped this, my understanding was they were going to reset it every single year, and then they did it, and I was like, okay, well, why don't we just reset the shop every month? And so they've kind of given us an alternative. Maybe it is one of those spaghetti code things that, you know, people will talk about with FGO, that maybe they just can't actually reset the shop every single month. Like, maybe that's just not a thing they're able to do for everybody. So giving us an item to manually doing it ourselves maybe is just the easiest way to have the game not break down. But we are starting out with 3. We don't know how frequently we're going to be receiving these items. We're getting 3 for just doing the missions during the 30 million download campaign. I'm hoping these are fairly frequent. You know, if you can get, you know, 1 a week, or even just 1 in the event shop per event shop, you can build those up fairly quickly, because how often are you really, I mean, well, depending on how hard you play, that might not be enough, but I'm just hoping we get these with some kind of frequency, because there are a lot of times where you're just sitting on a fat stack of pure prisms, and you're like, gee golly, I really wish I could use these to buy the billion hero proofs that I need. But then you're just not able to do that. The game just kind of tells you no. Or right now, I'm trying to work on my summer BB, and I'm like, man, I would much rather go farm for QP than to have to farm the, what is it, the like 59 or something, or 60 something caster gems that I'm gonna, or caster cookies, my bad, even worse, that I'm gonna need to do those. I'm just gonna buy those honestly with the pure prisms they gave us, and then go farm for QP, because I'd rather do that. I mean, just more enjoyable for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just used to it. But so that is a good thing, right? That is one thing that I will give the 30 million download campaign over being a bit standard, is that the quality of life update for this is good, but it's not quite perfect, right? I don't know why you need an item to do this, and it can't just naturally be reset, you know? It's a little bit weird, but FGO is one of those games that I'm like, I don't want to say is behind the times, but does anybody else kind of feel like FGO compared to a lot of other games is a bit more behind the times? I mean, I also play Dokkan, the Dragon Ball game that started pretty much at the same time as FGO did, and that seems to have a bit more quality of life things. But I also maybe liken it to the fact that the FGO production team seems to always have to fight like the higher ups to just give us things. So maybe a lot of these other mobile games that feel more modernized just have a better relationship between their gaming team and like the higher up, like the CEO, the people that are making all the big bucks and all the money, and they probably just have more staff. As Tucson, I think a couple of years ago said, And they're still like understaffed. They want like double the staff if they wanted to put out like more consistent events and everything. So small indie company, I understand, can hire more staff. But let's look at the positives. Let's look at all the good things we're going to be getting. And I guess if you're trying to get the new 5-star servant, they are updating the, you know, Start Dash campaign over here, the returning player campaign. So now is a good time to go ahead and try to get in here, because not only is Oberon coming back, they're going to have a raid up that has Castoria, Melusine, Scotty, you know, Merlin, all these crazy servants are going to be on there. So this is a really good time to just start picking and choosing and trying to grab people. I believe Summer BB is still actually on raid up as well. Not a bad pickup as well if you can go grab her. Just thought I'd go ahead and mention that. There's Oberon. Oh yeah, by the way, new Volumen over here. Like you've heard of Volumen Hydrogyrum. Have you heard of Volumen Hydrogenium over here too? You know, sure, I guess that's kind of funny. Why not? I can't wait to see like what the bonus effect for that is. Oberon's going to be in the friend points, yeah, like, or not friend points, but he's going to be on the friends list for the time that it's up. Yeah, here's the... I get a good shot of it? There we go. Yeah, this is going to be the raid up banner that's going to be cycling through. So, honestly, not bad servants. Like, Space Ishtar's not bad. You know, you have, like, Scotty, if you want to kind of just be able to get the baseline of quick things. Merlin's always going to be very good, especially post-buff. Kiara is really, really insane. Like, did not need that buff, but now she's just nuts. Jalter's really good and very popular. Masashi's pretty good, popular as well. Castoria. You've got good servants on it. You've got people. I mean, even like Ruler Artori is fairly solid. You need a soloer, you've got Shishi Huang on here, and Gramps is even pretty good, you know, after all of his buffs. So not some, there's not like for lack of good servants if you do want to go ahead and start. But yeah, over here they show that we're going to be getting, they're like, oh, story log servants are going to be on here. And then I think they, where is it? You guys showed the entire list. Come on. Don't be stingy on me, you know, player. Let me find all the guys. It's in here somewhere. Because I know what some people are going to be curious to see the entire list. Is it really this much of a struggle to, like, find all the dudes? They had, like, all the guys outlined in red and everything. Yeah, there it is. Okay, there it is. Look, don't call me a bum, alright? I can find things. The only thing is you need to get them to level 60 and bond 5. Otherwise, you don't get to keep them. Again, FGO always has that weird little restriction that you gotta do that to keep the guy. But I'll probably put out a video tomorrow when I'm not dying of exhaustion at 6:33 in the morning. Where I will outline and go over all of these servants and talk about what I think the priority list is for a lot of these guys. But honestly, most of these servants are going to be fine. Like, if you're an Altera fan and you're like, I really want to go for Altera, she's fine. You know, if you want to go for Bradamante for her Stellar NP, she's also, like, fairly good, right? A lot of these servants are pretty good, and or waiting on, like, one buff that'll make them, like, pretty decent. Like, Jack is a servant that I think has fallen off quite a bit, but they could quite as easily just give her one buff and she'd be, like, set. She'd be, like, pretty good again. And, I mean, even now, like, being anti-female, you could probably still squeeze out some kind of a use for her. Like, Jean's really good post-buff and all that good stuff. I'll get into more detail on that tomorrow, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the 30 million download campaign. Wanted to try to keep this as short and concise as possible, but let me know in the comments down below if you're going to go ahead and just get into JP because of this, because they got a banger, you know, Start Dash campaign. You're getting a bunch of quartz. You got Oberon available, crazy raid up. BB, I think, is still available right now, plus free 5-star, and they're going to be updating Mana or Pure Prism. Keep saying Mana Prisms, Pure Prisms. Okay, let me... 6:34 in the morning, man. I'm exhausted. But, you know, they're doing all that. So let me know if you're going to be doing that and who you're going to be picking in the comments down below. And I guess if you're an NA player and you don't pull somebody on here in the time between now and then, let me know who you're planning on getting between now and then. I mean, I guess now I don't have to pull for Kashin Koji on NA. That's kind of cool. Or I might just pick up Tamatomo. I also really like Tamatomo. He's pretty sick. So, I don't know. We'll see. But with that being said, I'm going to bed. Do not follow my sleep habits. Get a good, healthy amount of sleep. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.